During the attacks in the Rwenzori sub-regions by the Allied Democratic Forces terrorists, His Excellency the President of Uganda and the Commander-in-Chief of the UPDF has directed for the reactivation of local defense structures in the areas surrounding Kibale National Park and the Greater Rwenzori sub-region to protect communities against these attacks. The UPDF, therefore, hereby announces the mobilization and recruitment of local defense personnel in the districts of Kamwenge, Kitagwenda, Bunyangabu, Kyenjojo, and Kasese. The recruitment will be conducted in two phases. Phase 1 will run from 27th of December, which is tomorrow, 2023, to 10th of January, 2024. This will cover the districts of Kamwenge, Kitagwenda, and Bunyangabu. Phase 2 will cover the districts of Kyenjojo, Kyegegwa, and Kasese. Phase 2 will begin immediately after Phase 1 and will be conducted as in Phase 1. You know, the same methodology and the timings. The mobilization and recruitment will be conducted in 60 parishes stroke wards according to the quota system. Each parish stroke ward shall contribute 12 recruits, making a total of 720 personnel in Phase 1. Each parish stroke ward, I will just mention that. The criteria to recruitment, the criteria for recruitment shall be as follows. 1, one must be a citizen of Uganda. 2, the person should be ready for volunteer service. In other words, it will be voluntary or volunteering by the individual, not forceful or conscription. The person must be physically and mentally and medically fit. 3 or 4, they must be adults aged between 18 and 45 years of age. 5, they must have a minimum education of primary 7. 6, they must carry letters duly signed by the LC1 chairpersons and the defense secretaries of those areas I mentioned. So they should be residents of the area. 8, no criminal record. 9, they must be disciplined. And that's why we are requiring the letters from LC1 and the Secretary for Defense. 9, yes, disciplined. 10, no, they should not be having any other employment or engagement. The mobilization will be conducted by the resident district commissioners, deputy resident district commissioners, Uganda People's Defense Forces, Uganda Police Force, Internal Security Organization, Local Council 1 chairpersons, and the secretaries for defense. We do call upon the residents of these districts I mentioned earlier to indeed cooperate with the mobilization teams and recruitment teams. Like I said, mobilization takes effective from tomorrow, the 27th of December. And as I said, the recruitment in this Phase 1 shall be between 27th of December and the 10th of January 2024, so that we do start in Phase 2 immediately after. I thank you. If you consider the districts I've mentioned in phase 1, the total number is 720 in phase 1. That means even phase 2, it will be the same number, 720. That brings it about 1,440. Sorry for that. Of course, the period of engagement shall depend on the conditions or on the requirement for them. The security situation certainly will improve. And once it improves, they can be demobilized. Because the purpose is to guard against these particular small groups that are within Kyegegwa National Park and Queen Elizabeth. Rather, to protect Kyegegwa National Park and the Queen Elizabeth National Park and the communities around them. Yes, yeah, the army is not being withdrawn. The army will continue pursuing these groups. Okay? But secondly, the purpose or the advantage of using the locals is, 1, they know the area very well. 2, it is cheaper in terms of cost of maintenance because somebody is coming from his or her home. That's the option we want to use, that somebody should be. That's why we said they must be locals. 3, if there is any error or indiscipline on any of them, the community itself is able to identify this is Kyegegwa who has done this. So it helps also in terms of maintaining the discipline. But point to note, they shall be commanded by UPDF officers and non-commissioned officers. And 4, this is complementing the UPDF effort. So these ones are going to be guiding their own villages or wards, as I have indicated, parishes and wards. So it's not displacing, it's complementing. Yeah. Not voluntary, volunteer.
Volunteer, sir. I actually wrote volunteer.
Yes.
I just changed it myself.
Okay.
Apologies about that.
No problem.
How does it usually work with the UPDF? And given the call it the agency or the raised security
Concerns, if I may use the word, yes.
Region,
Yes, sir.
how do you expect these people to render volunteer service?
Volunteer means as opposed to conscription. Okay? Otherwise, they will be paid. They will be paid monthly. It's not voluntary. That's why I'm careful to use the word volunteer. You volunteer to be recruited, not forcefully recruited. Okay? Through the drills the UPDF is carried through during training. But 2, given the situation on the ground, certainly the period can't be much long. All right? But certainly, it will be sufficient enough to make them competent for the job. Yeah.
Are they going to be trained?
They will be taken in a central place, most likely one of our training schools, so that they have a benefit of the facilities in the training schools. Yeah.
In terms of recommendations, which kind of people are they supposed to be suggested by community leaders? How is it done?
When they say volunteer, you volunteer yourself. What the local leaders are supposed to do is to commend you, whether you are worth being recruited or not. And that's what the requirement is about from chairpersons and different secretaries. Those letters are a part and parcel of the requirement for you to come with.
Which doesn't have age limit?
I gave the age ranges, sir, from 18 to 45. Yes, minimum 18, maximum 45. The UPDF recruitment maximum age is 25. But because these ones are in their home areas, we can go up to 45. Thank you. Any other question, ladies and gentlemen? If you may recall, this year alone, we have trained and graduated 14,000 LDPs, local defense personnel, in our training schools of Kaweta, Olilim, and Labordong. These have been deployed especially in the 3rd and 5th divisions to cover the gaps that cattle thieves were exploiting in these areas. And if you may notice, if you have noticed or you have not noticed, ever since that deployment, cattle thefts have drastically gone down. Yeah.